Mics, camera, action.
Welcome to Takaro Kids, a weekly podcast that helps kids of all ages understand the events that shape the world around them. And today, we're going to be talking about something really exciting, what we usually see only in movies, right?
I mean, this is probably, I don't know if you could say that this event is shaping the world around you, but it has certainly captured everyone's imagination because of how audacious it was. And, it's always fun to hear about robberies and heists. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're talking about the Louvre Heist. We're going to go all the way to Paris, which is in France, to one of the world's most visited museums, which has got one of the most iconic art collections in the world.
Historic Louvre Palace is in Paris, like you mentioned, and it's home to a lot of different kinds of art. And when we think about art, immediately most people think about paintings. But it's not just paintings, it's sculptures, it's jewelry, it's different kind of artifacts that are available to see. Mummies, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, there are Egyptian mummies in there.
The kind of art that you'll find in the Louvre is, right from ancient civilization right down to the mid-19th century. A lot of wealth collected in one place. And what happened just last week was a group of 4 people, just 4 thieves, broke into the Louvre. Actually, 2 of them broke into the Louvre and made away very quickly and very calmly with a bunch of jewelry, the French crown jewels. They basically got in first thing in the morning when the museum opened at 30
Bright and
a.m.
early.
Yeah,
Bright and early.
And they were out within 8 minutes. Can you believe it?
That's crazy. That's like even better than Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12, movies which talk about heists, right? Even faster. So yeah, they, like you said, it was so interesting. They started with a vehicle, which basically has an electric ladder. So they started from outside the Louvre. It's an electric ladder that can keep going up. And it's actually very interesting. If you've been to Paris and, if you've been down those roads, it's very common to see these vehicles because very often they use these vehicles to transport furniture in and out of second floor, third floor homes and buildings and so on
really
and so forth.
old buildings with very narrow staircases where a lot of big furniture can't fit. So they
no
have ladders.
Lifts. Many of those places don't have elevators. So these 2 guys walked up that ladder, took a glass cutter, and basically cut through the window and got in. That's it. It's amazing.
You would think the Louvre is one of the most famous art museums in the world. A heist. A heist is basically a robbery, right? A heist that's been planned to get into the Louvre would be far more complicated and complex, like you see in the movies. Like there'll be laser and they will go and trip the cameras and they will cut wires here and cut wires there and knock out some guards. But none of that happened during this heist.
None of it. No one was injured.
No one was injured, thank God. They just went to the back of the Louvre. So the front entrance of the Louvre, the visitors who enter the Louvre come from the front. That's where, I don't know, maybe you've seen it or maybe you should look it up. That's where the famous pyramid is, right? The glass pyramid of the Louvre. That's where the entrance is. This is at the back. The robbery took place in something called the Gallery of Apollo. And these guys, they basically climbed up, broke with, I think they're called angle grinders, special glass cutters, got in, spent a nice, slow 5-6 minutes. They knew exactly where to go, broke the glass, scared away the security guards with those power drills. They didn't even have guns, okay?
It was crazy. What are they going to do? Like, drill them or... It's like really weird.
I mean, it was enough to scare them away. So the security guards immediately ran away. And of course, see, this is also protocol. It's not like they were cowards and they just ran. The protocol was to stay away from any intruders, armed intruders, and make sure that the visitors to the museum are safe.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just alert the authorities, which is what they did. So they followed protocol.
Correct.
So meanwhile, these guys went in, broke the glass cases, stole some 8 items of jewelry, a lot of precious stones, a lot of diamonds and emeralds and sapphires, all from the 19th century, which belonged to the French royalty. So these are called the French crown jewels. Crown jewels basically means it has been used and worn by the French royalty at some point and made off within 8 minutes. And actually, I saw the video. You should also try and see if they went down the ladder really, really slowly out of the Louvre when they were making their escape. So it's not like they rappelled down or had some jump down with a parachute.
I should actually check that video out because I haven't actually watched that video. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it is. And then what happened right after that is they tried to set fire to this little truck. Right?
Yeah,
but then they didn't manage to do that because there was security everywhere. So they got onto these little motorbikes that can go at 100 kilometers per hour and they zoomed out of there with all that jewelry.
Amazing.
So
I don't know how it was so easy and so simple, right? It makes it look very simple. But if you've seen movies and movies where people are planning heists and robberies, it takes a lot of planning. So I'm sure there was a lot of planning, but it's just weird. It just seemed like so simple.
The fact that it took less than 8 minutes means that it was planned right down to the minute. They knew exactly what was going to happen. So, and they still have not been traced, right? The cops are looking for them. They have no idea who they are. On the way, the only botch up really seems to be they dropped one crown, which belonged to Empress Eugenie. Empress Eugenie's crown was found. It was damaged on the escape route, probably fell out of a bag while they were trying to make their getaway. But yeah, quite a lot. I mean, extremely valuable jewels. There's a tiara and brooch that belonged to Empress Eugenie. Empress Eugenie used to be the wife of Napoleon III. An emerald necklace and a pair of emerald earrings. A tiara, necklace, and a single earring from a sapphire set that belonged to Queen Marie Amélie and Queen Hortense, which is all gone missing. Okay, one is the value of the jewelry, of course, very expensive, but also what it means to the French people. I think it's a lot of history and culture and their heritage that is tied to each piece, which is why they're on display in an art museum.
And actually, my kid actually asked me, what would they do with this? Because isn't it recognizable? If they go and try and sell it anywhere,
absolutely,
people will recognize it, right? And so won't they get caught? But the beauty about jewelry is that all of these pieces, whether it's a necklace or a earring or whatever it may be, have a lot of precious stones in them. So it could be rubies and emeralds and, those kind of things. All they have to do is take those out of the earring, take that out of the necklace and sell them individually. No one will know where it's come from. And that, I think, is the interesting part. They don't have to sell the whole necklace. They will actually just take out all the precious stones and be able to sell them individually because those precious stones individually are not traceable. No one will know where it came from.
That is interesting.
That kind of becomes the interesting piece of what would they do potentially once they've stolen this. How do they make money out of it?
And it seems France has actually been struggling with a lot of crime. A lot of robberies have been taking place. In fact, right after this heist, another robbery took place at the House of Enlightenment, which is a French museum dedicated to the French philosopher Denis Diderot. And this is in northeastern France. And here, also, it was very well planned. The thieves went off with 2,000 gold and silver coins worth around 90,000 euros, which is around 91 lakh rupees. Right? So, again, another
You think it's the
heist.
same people?
Maybe it's coordinated. Maybe there's going to be more and we should watch out for that, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And, just the Louvre itself is such a monument on its own. Just the museum itself, it's been so old. It's actually huge. The Mona Lisa is in the Louvre, which is the most well-known painting perhaps globally. I went
Most
over
famous
there.
lady in the world, one of.
Exactly. And I went over there, and if you go see the Mona Lisa, it's actually really small. It's not like a massive painting. I always imagined it to be a massive painting, but it's a really small painting.
Fun fact here, okay. The Mona Lisa is so small, actually, that in 1911, an Italian museum employee actually stole the Mona Lisa. He just literally picked up the Mona Lisa and put it from the Louvre.
Wow.
Picked it up, put it under his coat, and then made off with it. Right? He just took it off the wall. This is, of course, many years ago, before we had all the high-end
About
technology.
100+ years ago.
Yeah. And the Mona Lisa went missing for 2 years.
Wow.
Right? Okay. And then when finally they found him and they found the Mona Lisa, he's basically said that since the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, he believed that it actually belongs to Italy. So he wanted to return it to his country. But yeah, that's how small it is that the Mona Lisa, it could fit under his coat.
the Louvre is one of the largest, if not the largest museum in the world. It has halls and halls and halls of art and sculptures and, paintings and, like you said, different types of artwork. And in fact, what I found out while doing research for this episode is that it has about 35,000 pieces on display at any given time. 35,000.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Wow.
In fact, they actually have about 480,000 pieces of art. They just display 35,000 of them at any point of time.
The rest is all in storage, huh?
It's all in storage, and they keep switching it around depending on what the specific sort of, exhibition is. Is it the Egyptian? Is it the artworks, oil,
Renaissance, whatever it might be.
modernist? Yeah, whatever it may be. And so if you actually spend only 30 seconds viewing each piece, 30 seconds viewing each piece,
Okay.
it would take you roughly 100 days to see everything in the Louvre without any break
My
or
God.
any sleep. Just 30 seconds. At each piece, you would take 100 days to see everything. Now that is crazy, right? Think about it. That's insane.
No wonder then, right? When people go to the Louvre, they have made a list of, okay, I need to see these top few things, and the Mona Lisa is always one of them. And that's it,
100%.
right? Because it is just not possible for you to see all the art. It's
No.
a lot.
100 days. Oh, man, that's crazy. With no sleep,
Yeah.
no breaks, no lunch, no nothing. You have to walk for
Intense.
100 days to see everything. And
Yeah.
it's so cool because it has everything, right? It has works which are like 9,000 years old. I think one of the oldest artifacts is a prehistoric sculpture from the Middle East, which is from 7,000 BC.
You know, one interesting thing about the Louvre also that I was reading about, when the Louvre actually first was created, the palace itself, it was actually not a palace, it was a fortress, right?
Oh,
It was
okay.
built as a fortress in the 12th century by a French king called Philip II. It was built to protect Paris from invaders. And then, of course, as time went by, maybe they weren't so afraid of invaders anymore. They decided to turn it into a royal palace. And then it was when it was made fancy with the fancy art and the rooms and the chandeliers and all the stuff that you see right now. And then again, it was a palace only for obviously a handful of people to live in, and there are many servants. But in 1793, that's when the French Revolution happened. Maybe we can talk about the French Revolution in another episode, but it's a very, very big landmark time for France. The common people decided that art shouldn't just belong to royalty. It shouldn't just be accessible by kings and queens. Some of the greatest artists in the world, it's accessible to us thanks to the French Revolution.
It's pretty cool. As we come to the end of this episode, I'm assuming that this week's quiz question has something to do with the Louvre.
Yeah, you think so? You imagine that?
I think it should be, no? Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely. We are as predictable as that. Hey, we're not always predictable. Sometimes we change things up.
Oh, the last week or the week before you turned it upside
Yeah,
down. I forgot
I
about
did.
that. Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the quiz question for this week's episode. Which is the largest painting in the Louvre? Okay. Usually we give the answer away in the episode somewhere, but this one we want you to go and research and find out for yourself and let us know. We're going to give you options so you know where to look roughly. Option 1, is it the wedding feast at Cana? Option 2, is it the Mona Lisa? Option 3, the raft of Medusa. Option 4, the coronation of Napoleon.
Well, I definitely know it's not the Mona Lisa because it's a really, really small thing. So it can't be the largest painting. So it's one of the
Okay.
other three. Yeah.
Thanks for giving that hint away. Cool. So then you have 3 more options to pick from. Do your research, find out, and let us know. Send in your answers to www.takarokids.com, or you can send us a message on Instagram, and we will be picking a lucky winner.
And that lucky winner will basically get a gift certificate and a Takaro Kids t-shirt. Just to remind everyone, it is not about the person who sends it the first. It's not about how quickly you send us an answer. It's not about how many times you've sent it before. You keep sending your answers and you could be a lucky winner from all the answers that we get. In fact, we actually asked you a very, very important question last week, which is about the Nobel Peace Prize and who is the Indian or who are the Indians who have won the Nobel Peace Prize. Debbie, you have the answer for us?
I do have the answer, and like Kiran said, I think it's a trick question that we asked. The options we gave you are option 1, Mother Teresa, option 2, the Dalai Lama, option 3, Kailash Satyarthi, or option 4, Rabindranath Tagore. And the correct answer here, now more than one name is actually the correct answer. Mother Teresa became an Indian citizen in 1951, but before that, she was Albanian. She's of Albanian descent, and she won the Nobel Peace Prize. So that counts as an Indian who won the Nobel Peace Prize.
She won it in 1979, so after she had become an Indian.
Yes, exactly. So Mother Teresa is also the correct answer. Second option was Dalai Lama. Now, Dalai Lama lives in India. He's been living in Dharamshala for many years, but he's not an Indian. He is actually from Tibet. Tibet is a separate country, and he's been here as a refugee. Long story there as well, but the Dalai Lama won the Peace Prize, but he's not an Indian. Third option, Kailash Satyarthi. Yes, he is an Indian who won the Peace Prize. In fact, he shared it with Malala Yousafzai, another very famous Nobel Peace Prize winner. He won it because he was campaigning against child labor, and he campaigned for the right for every child to get an education. So a very noble cause there. Yeah. And the fourth option, Kiran?
Rabindranath Tagore. He got the Nobel Prize, but for literature, not for peace.
Yes.
So the right answer, everyone, is Mother Teresa and Kailash Satyarthi. And we have one lucky winner over here. We have Luke from Goa, who's actually the lucky winner this week.
Yay! Congratulations! So your t-shirt and your gift voucher is going to be on its way to you very soon. Well done for sending in the correct answer, and well done for thinking that through, because it was a trick question. And we will be waiting for all the answers to today's quiz question. You can go back, listen to the options again, and send it in. Yes, the largest painting in the Louvre. Until next time, it's goodbye from both of us.
Bye-bye.